Okay, in this lesson we are going to learn the foundation types and how to construct the foundation. So definition of foundation is it is a part of the structure that transmit load from the structure to underlying soil or rock. This is defined by Tersaki and Peck, and we can define the structure as foundation and superstructure. So foundation is below the ground level, and the superstructure means it is above the ground level. So we can see here the foundation has failed because the sufficient factor of safety against shear failure of found in soil. So this is showing us the shear failure. So another thing is foundations can fail due to settlement in the subsoil should be kept within tolerable limits. Here we can see this is Pisa Tower in Italy. So it's constructed in marshland. So normally very loose soil are there. So we can see here to this side the soil is settled, so the building is inclined. There are two types of foundation. The first one is shallow foundation and other one is deep foundation. And in the shallow foundation we defined as if the depth of the foundation is lower than 2 times width of the foundation, we consider it as shallow foundation. In the deep foundations, normally the loads are transmitted to a harder and stiffer layer for a depth. So in here you can see this is soft soil and this is hard soil. So using files or any other method, the load is transferred to the harder soil layer. So it's very safe. So this kind of foundations are used for the large buildings. Now let's see types of deep foundations based on the construction. First one is precast piles and the second one is cast in place piles. So they are called bore pile. In precast piles, generally there are 4 types: steel, timber, and reinforced concrete, and the pre-stressed concrete. And the cast in place piles, normally a hole is bored and the cast with reinforced concrete. So normally what we are do is we dig a hole and put reinforcement and put concrete. So let's move on. So now let's look at the types of shallow foundations. There are 5 main types of shallow foundation. The first one is isolated footings. We are called for this pad footings. So here we can see this is a square type, and this is rectangular type, and this is circular type. So you can see. And the second shallow foundation type is combined footing. So in here, in isolated footings, we can see there is only one part for one column. See, and in here the foundation is same for these 2 columns. That's why we are called this combined footings. Okay, so combined footings are useful when number 1 is columns are closely spaced. Here we can see the column distance is very low, so we can do this combined footing rather than the isolated footings. And there are restrictions such as property land. So if the land is limited, so we can do this combined footing. The third type is strip footing. You can see there is a strip here, and below that it's like combined footing. This is an extended version of combined footing. You can see it's run through there and the strip is there. And fourth shallow foundation type is raft foundation. We call this mat foundation. In here, when the required foundation area is more than 50% of the plan area, it is economical to use raft foundation. So this is why if the plan area is half of the plan area is more than half of the plan area is consist of foundation, we are to normally raft foundation. So we can see some types of raft foundations. Raft foundations have high structural stiffness, can tolerate greater settlements, can even out effects of the local pockets of loose or soft soils, and can be used in combination with piles. So we can use them with combination of pile foundations also. And here is the types of raft foundation. This is flat plate, and this is flat plate thickened under columns. You can see columns are there and flat plate thick under column. So another type is two-way beam and the slab. You can see there's two-way beam and the slab, and here flat plate with pedestals. So you can see flat plate with pedestals. Okay. Another foundation type is hollow filled with sand, the cellular construction. So in here there are holes and they are filled with sand sometimes, and sometimes they are in here there is nothing or air, so sand or air. And in here basement walls as rigid frame. You can see these are very rigid structures. So we can construction raft foundation like this also. So now we can understand the raft foundations. Last shallow foundation type is shell foundations. So normally shell foundations are used if there are multi-level constructions. So normally in water tower constructions we use this shell foundations. Here we can see these are water retaining structures. So we use these shell foundations, and this is folded plate, and this is shell walls. This is conical shells, you can see, and this is extended hyper foundation. In here this is hyper foundation, and this is extended hyper foundation, and there is a type called twin type also. So you can understand the different types of shallow foundations. I hope you learned something. Thank you.